¿Qué pasó, pinche perro? It's your homeboy Quetzalcoatl. Welcome back to the Fuck Your Life Boxing Show. No mames, güey. God damn, Ortiz. This is the Victor Ortiz versus Luis Collazo post-fight video. Very disappointing loss by Victor Ortiz. Was knocked out in the second round. As you know, Victor Ortiz was coming off of two back-to-back losses to Floyd Mayweather and Josecito Lopez. He lost both fights by stoppage, ended up quitting in the Josecito Lopez fight. On top of that, he hadn't fought in over a year because he broke his jaw in the fight with Lopez. Even though he had a long time of inactivity, he was, however, able to stay somewhat relevant by doing shit like Dancing with the Stars, and I believe he's also going to be a part of the Expendables 3, and I heard the motherfucker got like a cologne line or some shit like that. And, you know, taking on those other type of business ventures outside of boxing, it's good for him financially. And like I said, you know, he was able to stay somewhat relevant even though he wasn't boxing. But boxing is what got you those opportunities. So he had to make sure that in this fight with Luis Collazo, that he took care of business in the ring in order to be able to continue to partake in those other endeavors. And from the beginning of the fight, you saw Victor Ortiz came out looking a bit anxious. To me, it seemed like he was just looking for a huge home run shot, but he really wasn't trying to do anything to try to set up that punch. His technique was sloppy, and he was actually leaving himself open for a huge counterpunch from Collazo, who looked relaxed from the start of the bell. The first round, you really didn't see too much action. It was more of a fill-out round. In round two, the pace started to pick up a little bit as you saw Collazo starting to let his hands go. And each time that Collazo landed a decent shot, you saw that Victor Ortiz immediately wanted to answer. But again, he was leaving himself wide open. And towards the end of that round, Victor Ortiz threw a huge left hand that barely missed Collazo. I believe it landed right under the neck, and he tried to throw a right hook after that, but Collazo threw his right hook first, caught him dead on the jaw. Ortiz almost went down. He did a little spin move, like a pop lock and drop it, and he was able to stay on his feet, but you could tell he was in bad shape. Collazo landed a couple punches. Ortiz went down. He was hurt, but to me, I felt it was only the second round. He could get back up, but mentally, again, he just quit. And the fight was over. This was a huge win for Luis Collazo. Major props to Collazo on a well-deserved victory. If you saw the post-fight interview, Collazo called out Mayweather. At this point, I don't think that he should be in the run for a Mayweather fight. I do believe that Collazo is deserving of a shot versus someone like Marcos Maidana, maybe a fight versus Broner, a title shot versus Sean Porter, or even a fight with Keith Thurman. If he's able to get past one of those opponents, then yes, he should be deserving of a fight with Mayweather, but just not at this point. As far as Victor Ortiz goes, I think his career is over. You know, as far as being a potential superstar or an elite fighter in the future, that's over and done with. Physically, Victor Ortiz has the tools to be a future star in boxing, but he just doesn't have the mental fortitude. And this isn't the first time that we've seen him quit like this. You know, in the Marcos Maidana fight, you know, he had Marcos Maidana hurt on several different occasions. But once Marcos Maidana started bringing it to his ass, Victor Ortiz was like, I'm cool. You saw it in the fight versus Floyd Mayweather. He pretty much quit when he did that headbutting bullshit. You saw it again versus Josecito Lopez in a fight where he was up, ended up getting his jaw broke. Again, he quit. He just doesn't have the mind state for boxing. You know, I have an uncle who has Down syndrome, Mateo Javrecito. I think he could get better mentally prepared for a fight than Victor Ortiz can. But like I said, I think Ortiz is finished. I think he should just retire and start selling tacos with Fernando Vargas. Remember I told y'all Fernando Vargas, after he retired, he got his little taco stand in East LA. Fernando's KO Tacos. Fernando done came up already, man. He ain't got the taco stand no more. he got the restaurant now. And David Price is already working up there. The heavyweight. Yeah, he's one of the waiters and shit. And it's just like Rocky 6. Remember on Rocky 6, Rocky had that restaurant. And he served tables and he tell motherfucking stories about his fights and shit like that. David Price do the same thing. He take their order. And then he be like, hey, did I tell you about the time I got my ass whooped by Tony Thompson? And he start telling him about the fight. Fernando, he works in the kitchen. That motherfucker in the back, flipping tortillas, hooking up tacos and burritos and shit. Victor Ortiz, I think he already filled out his application. You know, he finna be parking cars and shit. He gonna be working valet. But as far as boxing goes, I think it's over. The only fights that I could even see potentially for Victor Ortiz is maybe a rematch with Andre Berto, just because of how good the first fight was and because of where both fighters are at this point in their career. The only other fight that may make sense is perhaps a fight with Brandon Rios, just because of the feud that they've been having over the years, but that's going to be a tough fight to set up because of the Golden Boy top rank bullshit. But other than that, I think Victor Ortiz should just retire. You know, fuck it, just sell your cologne or do fucking Dancing with the Stars in Spanish. I don't know, man. But let me know what you think. Do you think that Victor Ortiz's career is over? Do you think that he can bounce back from this? Let me know, and as always, if you like this shit, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. This your homeboy Quetzalcoatl, signing the fuck on out.